Here I am, standing at the altar in my wedding gown, and the man I loved was nowhere to be found. The guests were staring at me. The pastor kept checking his phone. My mother's hands were shaking. He had a whole wife, a whole family. And I never knew. But that is not even the worst part of this story.
My name is Ada. Dr. Bamba Ada. 32 years old. Lecturer at Lagos State University. I had everything, a career, a beautiful house, money in my account. Everything except one thing. Trust. See, I grew up without a father. My dad died when I was barely 1 year old. But my mother, God bless her, she couldn't bring herself to tell me the truth. She said he traveled abroad. Every birthday, every Christmas, every school graduation. I kept waiting for a man who was never coming back. By the time I was 20, I had made up my mind. Men leave. Men lie. Men abandon their families. I was never going to let any man do that to me. And then I met Femi. And I believed, just for a moment, that I was wrong about all of it. I was not wrong. Let me take you back. My mother, Mrs. Bamba, was the most beautiful woman I knew growing up. Strong, quiet, determined. She worked as a seamstress in our compound at Surale, and whatever she made, she poured into me. I remember being maybe 5 or 6 years old, sitting on the floor beside her sewing machine while she worked. I would ask her, "Mommy, when is Daddy coming back?" And she would smile that small, sad smile and say, "Soon, Ada. Very soon. He is busy over there. Over there." As if abroad was a place you could point to on a map. I believed her. Of course I believed her. She was my mother. Why would she lie to me? So I wrote letters. I drew pictures. I folded them neatly and I gave them to my mother and said, "Send this to Daddy." She always said she would. I don't know what she did with them. Years passed. I grew up. I was 12, 13, 15, 18. And still no father. By the time I entered university, I had stopped asking. I had built a new story in my head, the kind of story that hurts less than the truth. I told myself, my father remarried abroad. He has a new family. He chose them over us. He forgot us. That story made me angry. And anger, I found out, is actually easier to carry than grief. So I carried the anger. I carried it all the way into my adult life. Into every relationship I refused to start. Into every proposal I turned down. Into every conversation where someone asked me, "Ada, when are you getting married?" And I would just laugh and walk away. I graduated top of my class. I did my master's. I got my PhD. And when Lagos State University offered me a lecturing position, I took it without thinking twice. I loved that job. I loved walking into that lecture hall with my laptop and my coffee and 100 young faces staring at me, waiting to learn. I was good at it. My mother was proud. But every Sunday when I visited her in Surale, before I could even put my bag down, she would start. "Ada, when are you bringing husband? Ada, I want to carry grandchild. Ada, your mates are already on their second child. Ada, Ada, Ada." I love my mother. But that woman could test the patience of a saint. My friend Precious was our biggest ally. Precious and I had been close since secondary school. We went to the same university, and then somewhere between year 2 and year 4, she met her husband Emmanuel, fell in love, got married, and now she had a beautiful little daughter named Taif. Precious was happy. Genuinely, deeply happy. And I was happy for her. But she would not leave me alone. "Ada, marriage is not what you think. Emmanuel is my best friend. Come and try him. You will not regret." I would just look at her and smile and say, "When I am ready, Precious. When I am ready." The truth. I was never planning to be ready. I had my house. I had my salary. I had my books and my students and my independence. I didn't need a man to make my life complete. That is what I told myself. Every night. Alone in that big beautiful house. And then, one Saturday afternoon, I went to the mall. Just to buy groceries. And in the perfume aisle, my whole life changed. It was a normal Saturday. I had finished marking exam scripts by noon and I decided to reward myself with a proper grocery run at the mall on Lekki. I had a full list: vegetables, pasta, yogurt, and the last item on my list was my perfume. I had been using the same scent for 3 years. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Something about it just felt like me. I walked to the perfume section and I saw it immediately, the last bottle on the shelf. I reached out to take it. And another hand reached for it at exactly the same time. I looked up. And the man looking back at me was fine. I mean, I am a serious woman. I don't throw that word around, but this man was fine. Tall, clean-shaven, wearing a white kaftan that looked like it was made personally for his body. He smelled good already, before the perfume. We both froze. Then we both started talking at the same time. Oh, sorry. No, please, you can. And then we both stopped and laughed. A real laugh. The kind that catches you off guard. He said, "This is your perfume. Please, take it." And I said, "No, actually, I still have some at home. Please, you take it." And he said, "But I came specifically for this." And I said, "So did I," and we laughed again. We stood there in that perfume aisle for 20 minutes arguing about who was going to take the last bottle. In the end, I let him have it. I told him by the time my bottle finished, the mall would have restocked. He said, "You're very generous." I said, "I'm very practical." He smiled. "My name is Femi." "Ada," I said. We exchanged numbers right there in the perfume aisle. And I walked to my car with my groceries and no perfume and a smile I could not explain. That had never happened to me before. Not once in 32 years had a stranger made me smile like that in a shopping mall. I should have paid attention to how strange that was. I should have asked more questions. But I was smiling. And smiling women do not ask enough questions. Femi called me that same evening. We talked for 2 hours. Then every day after that, we talked. Text in the morning, calls at lunch, long conversations at night. He was funny and smart and attentive. He remembered things I said. He remembered that I liked my pepper soup extra spicy. He remembered that I hated being late to anything. After 6 weeks, we went on our first date. Upscale restaurant on the island. He looked at me across the table and said, "Ada, you are different from every woman I have ever met." And I said, "How?" And he said, "You are not trying to be anything. You are just yourself." I had never been told that by a man before. After 3 months, he had met my mother. That alone was a miracle because I had never taken any man to my mother's house in my life. My mother cried. Happy tears. She held Femi's hands and said, "Welcome, my son. Welcome. God has answered my prayers." And Femi smiled and said, "I will take care of her more. I promise." He promised her. By month 5, he proposed. Simple. Private. Just the 2 of us in my sitting room on a Sunday evening. He got on one knee and he said, "Ada, I want to spend the rest of my life making you trust love again." He said he could see how guarded I was. He said he understood. I cried. For the first time in years, I cried happy tears. I said yes. We set a wedding date. 6 weeks away. Beach ceremony in Lekki. Small and intimate, just close family and friends. White roses everywhere. I had the dress custom made. floor length, off shoulder, with tiny pearls sewn along the neckline. I remember standing in front of my mirror the night before the wedding, looking at myself in that dress, and thinking, maybe I was wrong. Maybe men don't always leave. Maybe this one is different. The morning of my wedding, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I had this feeling. Not fear, not nerves, something else. Like a cold hand pressing on my chest. I ignored it. I told myself it was just excitement. I should have listened to that feeling. The beach venue was beautiful. White canopies, white chairs. The ocean behind the altar. Roses everywhere, just like I wanted. The guests had arrived, about 60 people. My mother was in a stunning gold also. Precious was my maid of honor. She kept squeezing my hand. 11 o'clock. That was when the ceremony was supposed to start. 11 o'clock came. No Femi. I told myself traffic. Lekki traffic is no joke. 11:15. 11:30. The pastor was on his phone. The guests were whispering. My mother was standing at the edge of the canopy looking down the road. I called Femi's number. It ran out. I called again. Switched off. My stomach dropped. Precious was on her phone calling his friends. His groomsmen were there, they looked confused. His best man, a guy named Rotemai, kept saying, he will come. He will come. But his eyes said something different. 12 o'clock. Still no Femi. And then Rotemai pulled me aside. Away from the guest, away from the canopy, behind one of the catering tents. And he looked at the ground and he said, Ada, Femi has a family. In Ibadan. A wife and 2 sons. I tried to talk him out of this. I swear to God I tried. I did not know he was going to do it this way. I heard the words. I understood the words. But for a full minute, I could not move. My brain just stopped. Precious found me. She saw my face. And she just held me. She did not say anything. She just held me. I don't remember walking back to the car. I don't remember the guest leaving. I don't remember the drive home. I just remember sitting on my bathroom floor at 8 o'clock that night, still in my wedding gown, the pearls along the neckline digging into my skin. And crying. The kind of crying that comes from somewhere so deep inside you that it doesn't even make a sound. For the next 3 months, I did not leave my house. I stopped going to work. I stopped answering calls. I stopped eating properly. I would wake up at noon, sit in my bedroom, stare at the wall, and go back to sleep. My mother came every 3 days. She would knock, I would not answer. She would let herself in with her spare key, cook something, leave it in the fridge, and go. She stopped trying to talk to me after the 2nd week. The university called. Once, twice, 5 times. I asked for a leave of absence. They granted it 2 months. After that, they started sending formal letters. Precious never stopped calling. Every single day, even when I did not pick up. She would leave a voicemail every time. Ada, I am here. Just calling to let you know you are not alone. Call me whenever you are ready. It was her voice every day in my voicemail that kept me from disappearing completely. At month 5, she came to my house and she sat beside me on my bed and she said, Ada, I am not asking you to be okay. I am asking you to see someone. A therapist. Just once. If you don't like it, we never discuss it again. I agreed. I don't even know why. Maybe because I was tired of carrying everything alone. The therapist, Dr. Ngozi, was a small, calm woman in her 50s. She wore natural hair and she smelled like shea butter. The first session, I barely said 10 words. The second session, I talked for 40 minutes. By the sixth session, I was talking about my father for the first time in my life. I had never talked about my father to anyone. Not Precious. Not my mother. Nobody. Dr. Ngozi helped me see something I had been running from for 30 years. I was not just heartbroken over Femi. I was repeating the same wound. A man I loved disappeared. Just like my father. Only this time, I was an adult. And this time, I could choose what I did next. A year after the wedding that never happened, I went back to work. I walked into the lecture hall, put my laptop on the desk, looked at my students, and said, "Good morning. Let us begin." And it felt like breathing again. I had made one decision. No more love. No more men. No more risking myself for someone who would leave. I kept that decision for 3 years. Until one evening, on the way home from school, my car broke down on the road. And a young man walked up to me out of nowhere and changed everything all over again. It was a Thursday evening. I was driving home from campus, Ikorodu Road, peak hour. My car had been making a small noise for a week. I kept telling myself I would take it to the mechanic on Saturday. I never did. Right there on the road, in full traffic, the engine died. Just cut off. No warning, no drama, it just stopped. I pulled to the side of the road and sat there feeling extremely foolish. I popped the bonnet and stood in front of it looking at the engine the way people look at a document written in a language they don't understand. I had no idea what I was looking at. And then I heard, "Excuse me, Ma." I turned around. A young man was standing there. Maybe mid-20s. Dark-skinned, medium height, wearing a lace hoodie and carrying a backpack. He looked familiar. "I'm Mike," he said. "I am in your 400 level African literature class. I saw you from the bus stop." I recognized him then. He always sat in the third row. Always had his notebook open before I even started talking. "I know a little about cars," he said. "Do you mind if I take a look?" I stepped back. He leaned over the engine, moved a few things, looked around. 5 minutes later, I don't know how, the car started. I stared at him. He shrugged. "Loose battery connection, Ma." Classic. I was so relieved I almost hugged him. Instead, I said, "Are you going my direction? Let me give you a lift. The least I can do." He said yes. We drove in comfortable silence for a while. Then I asked him about his final year project. He talked about Chinua Achebe and the post-colonial experience with a passion that surprised me. This was not a surface-level student. This one actually read the books. When we arrived at my estate, I said, "Come inside. Let me offer you something to drink, at least." He looked uncertain for a moment. I should have noticed that uncertainty and sent him on his way. Instead, I said, "Just for a few minutes, Mike. You fixed my car. It is the polite thing to do." He came inside. I brought out red wine. I am not going to pretend I was lonely that evening. Not in a romantic way, or at least I told myself it wasn't romantic. Just, the house was quiet and it was nice to have someone to talk to. We talked about literature, about Lagos, about his plans after graduation. Time passed. The wine was good. We were both relaxed. And then, neither of us planned it. Things went somewhere they should not have gone. I don't need to describe it to you. You are smart enough to understand what I am saying. I woke up before him. I lay there for a moment staring at the ceiling, and the full weight of what had happened hit me all at once. He was my student. He was 25 years old. He was in my final year class. If this ever came out, it would end my career. Everything I had built, every lecture hall I had walked into, every publication, every student who respected me, all of it would be gone in one afternoon's news cycle. I felt sick. He woke up shortly after. The moment his eyes focused and he recognized where he was, I saw the same fear cross his face. We did not speak for a full minute. Then he quietly got up, gathered his things, and said, I should go, Ma. He could not even look at me. Yes, I said. You should. He left. I sat in my sitting room until the afternoon. Then I made myself tea, got dressed, and made a decision. On Monday, I called him into my office. He came in and stood by the door like a man preparing for a verdict. I said, "Sit down, Mike." He sat. I said, "What happened on Thursday evening was a mistake. A serious mistake. It will never happen again. And as far as we are both concerned, it never happened at all. Do you understand me?" He looked at me for a long time. Something moved behind his eyes. Not just relief, something else. I couldn't name it then. "Yes, Ma," he said. "Good," I said. "You can go." He stood up. He walked to the door. And then he stopped. He turned around and said, "Miss Ada, I know this is not my place. But I just want you to know, I don't regret knowing you." And before I could respond, he was gone. I sat in that office for a long time after he left. He was a student. He was young enough to be my younger brother. What happened was wrong and it was not going to happen again. That was what I told myself. But his words stayed with me. "I don't regret knowing you." I had not had anyone say something like that to me since Femi. And Femi had been a lie. Was Mike a lie too? Was this the universe testing me again? Or was it something else? I didn't know. And not knowing is the most dangerous feeling in the world for a woman like me. Because I had locked my heart away for a reason. 3 years of building walls, brick by brick, and this 25-year-old boy was standing outside those walls with something in his eyes I could not name. His final exams were in 3 months. 3 months of seeing him in that lecture hall, 3rd row, notebook open, looking at me with those eyes. I didn't know how I was going to survive it.